positive. I got a vendetta against people who patent it, being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, isn't that spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead of say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go. Make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off and knowing I gotta make it. I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages of vacant. Modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
In the spot with the guys trying to make plays. Rush in the door, I'll be there when it take place. When I blocked it 108 days. Shoot through the ops, then I switch up the fake place. Stand over ops, do a sim, but I keep faith. Get on this body, not shooting from deep range. That's the ball, I'm trying to click first. Better than Stody and Baby on 6 first. Before scoring on trust, had a miss first. Reload the clip and then I let it disperse. Be all up the clutch and trying to drop one. Chase down king, I'm clicking to the cops. Catch for 1 and living out of option. G19, the 40, get the option. That's what I got in the barrel. City question like that. Got a lawyer, ain't going to jail. That bright like a Jew in that shot. Do you like Tony? I call up assassins. Right, so when I bring the pack, yo, construction when I break a breakdown. I know I'm listening, no, I'm never lacking. I keep a toolie on my fucking head, no, I'm stepping in. So we rob it and bend. I have the Mac and now he wanna sit down. I'm with the babies, they tell me what's crack. Walking my cup, so I'ma take a sip. I'm in the trap with the racks and the mattress. Blow streets when he whipping the wheel. Live a full exploring the passion. My whole do the hitches for the thrill. He don't even care, he do it for the passion. And it's about with the guys trying to make plays. First thing I know, I'll be there when it take place. When I blocked it 108 days. Shoot through the off, then I switch up the fake place. Stand over off, do a sim, but I can't fake. Hit on this body, not shooting from deep range. That's the pole, I'm country. First, better than Stody. First, scored on trust, had a miss first. Reload the clip and then I let it disperse. Reload the clip and then I let it disperse.
I'm in the studio, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I'm at the studio. Hold up, though. I ain't get to roll no weed. I ain't get to roll no switches. I was locked up on Christmas. I ain't get to see my niggas. Ain't get to hug my mama. Couldn't even give her no kisses. Can't even post on my Instagram. Could he pussy nigga be snitching? Everybody acting suspicious. Might probably say that I'm tripping. When I'm all alone in my jail cell, I tend to get in my feelings. And all I smoke is that loud. Don't pass me no midget. And I'ma smoke all of my pain away, cause that's the only thing that gon' heal it. I don't understand you women who go around pretending as if they really fuck with me. So I love them all from a distance. Cause the same bitch say she down the ride, be the main one who tricking. Got my limits with promethazine, cause every time I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s, and all these pussy niggas hating, trying to knock me off my grind. But I can't let them do it, I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Bitch,
What's up, all you worky turd motherfuckers? We're going to pause the snipe, and we're going to play our own song here until this little faggot starts fucking talking. So sit back and enjoy some music. Alrighty, let's enjoy some music. Lord have mercy. He's still playing more music. What a fucking bag. What's been going on, people? Anything exciting been happening? Yeah, he's still just he's still just playing music. We'll just mute that for a second. I've been super busy. Work was handing out overtime like it's fucking candy down by the river, so I fucking jumped in the van and took that overtime. Yeah, shitty music at that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Shitty fucking music at that. I guess it makes him feel gangster playing that music, you know. Little 32-year-old white cracker and Hayti thinks he's fucking gangsta. Oh shit. Hey, I don't know how many nerds are out there in chat right now, but it's WrestleMania weekend. Oh yeah. I'll be tuning into some WrestleMania here in a couple hours when it starts. Yeah, rip the Hogans. Yeah, Dan, or was it Drew? Somebody asked if Goku deleted his channel. I can confirm, in fact, he did yeet his channel. If I have an old link to one of his shorts in Discord, and if you go to it, it says this video is no longer associated with YouTube because the user has yeeted their account. He closed his account. Yeah, rip Goku. Oh my god. Too fucking funny. Yeah, that's right. I'm a fucking geek and I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna watch it. I've been watching it all my fucking life. I don't give two rats' asses. You fucking geeks. You're goddamn right. I'm a proud fucking geek. Goddamn right. I don't know, Red Dog. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that and the fact that he's calling himself a fucking juggalo. Okay, you don't just like start listening to ICP and become a juggalo. A juggalo is a way of life. It's an attitude, it's a way of life. And real juggalos would eat his ass a fucking live. Real juggalos don't fuck around. They don't call themselves a juggalo. They are fucking juggalos. Uh, I lost 2 respect points because I watched wrestling. I don't care. I'll gain them back later. I promise. Oh, now he's singing. Oh, we missed it. He's done singing. That too, feller. That too. I don't know why anybody would want to walk around and dress up like a fucking clown. I mean, I agree. I love ICP too. I like some old school ICP, you know. Ha 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 ha. Fucking juggalo. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody scared of none of that fucking bullshit. You know, all this fucking pretend that people are doing like they're a fucking superhero or out of a fucking Batman comic or some kind of fucking syndicate. Is that supposed to scare somebody? I mean, honestly, is that supposed to strike fear in people? Or are we supposed to run away and just not talk about them no more? Oh, goodness. The Gilded Syndicate is coming for us all. Oh, no. Good God. Oh, my God. Listen to this fucking fag singing. Oh. Well, there's that too, y'all. If Cyrax claims to be a juggalo and then you're trying to put yourself in the mix of being a juggalo, I mean, look what company you keep. I'm just saying. Oh, no. Yeah, he is a fucking clown. I have no idea. I guess he's trying to woo Brownie into sleep so he can get him without him moving too much. I don't know. Listen to this
Peter
fucking queer.
coming back. Now she's screaming out no more. Yeah. And you only got 6 cars. Kiss that. Wifey's looking like a whole sack. I got whole racks.
A little
With a
feller
whole
is a
cat.
big juggalo.
No, you are not hard. Living like a rock
Oh, I'm
star.
fucking dead. I'm fucking dead.
Yo.
Oh, he's G'd up. Yeah. Yeah, he's real fucking G'd up. Oh, it's my favorite too. There's nothing funnier, gives me more entertainment than watching a white person try to act gangster. It's fucking great. What's up, witchy woman? My favorite little witch out here on the streets causing trouble. You trolled us, witchy. How dare you troll us? You gifted a bunch of memberships and you were trolling us. How dare you? Here, I'm going to troll myself, and I just gifted 5 memberships. I trolled myself. Randy Tippett, Bo Baker, Chrissy Yant. You know, Chrissy didn't get one. She's already got one. Sucking Jolly Rancher of Chaos, Bleep Bloop Blop, and Tina Beagle. Congrats. Oh, here we go.
The syndicate does.
The syndicate.
I want to appreciate people bearing with us and being patient and not being douches about getting a misspelling
Hey, thank you, Serial Whacker, for the $2 super chat.
Or whatever. You know, these AI programs, I have typed things in exactly correctly. I didn't misspell anything on my end. And sometimes I can speak from experience. They will straight up alter the spelling just a little bit enough to make it screwed up, or sometimes they'll alter it completely. I don't know why, you know, so sometimes you have to redo it and eventually they'll get it right. What I've come across and I've been told and learned is that you always put text in parentheses. Like if you want it to
Did you guys
write
not hear
text
that?
across something, you
hang on.
On whatever surface of the picture or part of the picture, and then after that you have the text and you do a parentheses
There we
and
go.
then do the text out that you want and then parentheses. And then after that, if you want it in a certain style like bold and in the italic font, for instance, like you could put bold in italic font. You know, but that doesn't mean that the first time, if you have it right, you know, square is an ass, it might say square is an ACC or something like that. That's just what the AI does. It messes up sometimes. But we got it corrected, and this is the new one right now. We've also got a gold one. I personally like the red one. We've got a couple different colors of them. And people are going to be able to stop this no matter how much, like, Filthy doesn't like it, you know, and acts like he doesn't sanction it, like he has the authority. Nobody has the authority to keep people from interacting with others and trying to say that they own people as property and shit. And they're probably trying to laugh it off and be like, in some chats, probably saying some shit like, he takes the property thing serious. That's how much of a low-cal he is. Well, you're taking it pretty damn serious. You're like not wanting me to be at certain places and don't want people interacting with me. I mean, that's trying to control my stuff.
You can't just do that. Can you imagine? Say I had a girlfriend right now, and say that the girlfriend liked to engage a little bit much with the trolls. Some to the point, you know, I thought it made things worse, or, you know, so let's say that I try telling her this. Let's say it doesn't get through much, and I even get mad, and I'm like, you know, don't do that stuff, please, for me. Let's say that the trolls somehow caught wind of this, right? You know what they'd be saying? He's trying to control her. Domestic abuse, narcissistic abuse. They would be saying anything. But them trying to affect my life in the real sense, too. If it was all just stupid online videos and stuff, I would have been over it by now. I mean, I pretty much am over that part when it comes to that shit of theirs. Because there's a little dirty secret that's obvious that I know and I'm not going to point out, that kind of just blows this whole out of the water. And it's so easy and so right in front of you, almost like you'd think that they might catch on, but they're not the smartest tools in the shed. It took me a while to catch on too. So I'm even more laid back and comfortable. And, you know, the fact is, here soon, I'm going to have my teeth work done, and my mouth is going to be fixed. I'm going to have a beautiful smile again. Handsome, beautiful smile. And people can talk about how they're fake, whatever. I won't care. Because at least I'll have them. At least they will serve me. They will help me, continue to enjoy the food I've always enjoyed. Like the current situation with my teeth is I can still eat a lot of the. I mean, some things are a little bit difficult or awkward a little bit, but most things I have no problem with eating still. Not at all. And that's what I find funny. Someone tried to say, what's it like not to be able to enjoy a steak? I don't know, because I can enjoy a steak. I had one not that long ago when we went to Applebee's, me and my granddad. You know, I go out with my granddad, I spend time with him because I love my granddad. My granddad's been in my life since I was 3 years old. You know, I mean, we're very close. He used to take me around with him all the time when he'd go running around when I was younger. I had a car seat in his truck. I love my granddad. And course, it goes without saying I love my dog, and for people wanting to talk about stealing my dog, it's just asinine. Like, that's what you'd be doing. You'd be stealing a dog. Like, he's none of your dog. He's not someone's dog that was stolen, like you try to falsely convince yourself. Because that person has never came up here with any documents or chip tag documents or anything like that. If they had, I would have, hated it, but I would have, obviously given him back. I mean, after I get cleared up why the hell he was out like he was to begin with, because he's out there with no collar, you know, and y'all being able to get somebody to fake it's not going to work either. They'd have to have legitimate paperwork not too long before the date that I came across him. And there's nobody that has that because he was not fixed. He was past the time to be fixed too, and he wasn't fixed. So he clearly was not getting care. His nails were overgrown. He was cold. He was hungry. As soon as I put water, anything out in front of him, he just devoured it. Like, that's not the signs of a dog that's been taken care of and just recently gone missing or something. Not that they wouldn't be thirsty or hungry, probably, but not like that. No, not that quick. And the person I delivered the pizza to, they was very insistent that that was nobody's dog around there, that he was very new around the area, kind of just recently. She said, but I said, has it been more than a few days? And she said, yeah, probably about a week. So he'd been there a week. So I get him to, just, he like apprehensively, slowly followed behind me a little bit. And I opened up the car door and I tried to pick him up, but he wouldn't let me pick him up at first. So I started tapping on the seat and I said, can you jump up in here? And he jumped right on up in there, climbed over into the passenger seat and sat down right in the passenger seat like he knows what he's doing.
Holy shit. Thank you, Witchy, for the 20 gifted memberships. And thank you, Buggy, for the 5 gifted memberships. Holy shit. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the fuck out of you too, man. Hell yeah. That'll give us a second emoji spot. So I saw a Miss Piggy emoji being asked for, so I'll put a Miss Piggy one in there. So now we've got another one. What other emoji do you guys want to see? But thank you guys fucking very much. I appreciate the fuck out of you two, man. Thank you very much.
And I got in, I closed the door, and I tried to pet him again. He kind of backed away from me a little bit, and I said, it's okay. And I started driving off, and as I was driving on, he started looking over towards me more and smelling in my direction. And I put my hand up next to him, let him smell my hand. And I came up to a stop sign, and that's when I looked at him, and he was looking up at me. And I slowly put my hand over his head, and I started, rubbing him on his head and scratching it. And I rubbed it again. I don't know what happened to you, but I said, I'm going to take care of you the best way I can. I said that might end up going to a shelter. I was very and thought that I was going to be a losing battle with my granddad because he's never cared for animals in the house. And this would be an inside dog, obviously. He's so small. I mean, not unless you had a lot of land or something. So, you know, and at that time it was so cold out, like he could freeze to death. It was below freezing. Um, they had a freeze at the shelter, meaning they were full, over capacity. They was actually over capacity. They said they had some kennels in there that some people brought in from their homes, and they set them up in there for a few extra dogs, and they cannot take any more at all. So there's a complete freeze. The next morning, once I let my granddad know that I had the dog, he, was like, first was like, get him out, and I said, well, they got a freeze up there. I said, I found him outside below freezing weather, Grandpa. I was like, so I either guess you'll let me keep him or you'll have to put him outside yourself. I said, because I can't do it. And I meant that. Like, there's no way I can put him outside. And he believed me because he saw me get on the phone and called the shelter. Because I figured that, and then when I got done with it, so I said, well, there's really no other options but that or the other. And he really grew on Grandpa, and he's really grown on me. I love him. I mean, I can't hardly go anywhere without him following behind. He does his job real well because even when that big puppy comes out there in the back and tries to keep him separated from me, Brownie always gets back into position or gets in between my legs and stuff and stays his ground. He's like, no, you are not making. One time I had a panic attack and I I blacked out from it basically. And as I was coming back to, this guy was on top of my chest, like standing on it, and was licking me and would stop licking and then would bark a couple times and then lick me again and then bark. But there was nobody around at the time. So, but he did, like, I was just so impressed that he had done that. Because that's like one thing we just barely explored doing and had did a couple times. It wasn't something I was going to necessarily, because it was just, one of those what if things. And God, he remembered it. Like, 'cause when we was doing the training, that's basically what happened. Like, I pretended to just kind of, you know, and at first it took him a minute. Then once he finally started catching on, and it's one of those weird things that kind of you train them and they get it or they don't. They're just trying to wake me up and he's trying to get attention. Like I said, other than in that instance and in the instance where very rarely, like, he doesn't use his vocal cords uh, often at all. And I have no idea of, like, why he's like that, but it's kind of weird, but a blessing at the same time. Let's see. It looks like George is live. I wonder, is he talking about the bee? Let's tune in for a second.
Wasn't called. I don't care about her.
And I'm not sniping him because I have no beef with this dude. It's just that I know he goes after Jules sometimes, and I support that.
I was setting myself up for the next stages of attacks from. I don't know what they could have.
I'd be doing this in fair use as well.
Inforver.com.
Yeah, I'm not gonna check that out actually. I'm thinking of checking out. I'm thinking of checking out and listening, unfortunately, because I wanted to finish listening to what any other nonsense was said here. And people may say, well, why do you care? I don't care. Oh, shit, he's live right now. Snipe session. Change of plans, folks. They're live right now. Fucking playing music. Alright, please be done with the fucking music.
Yes, sir, and we're back.
And we're back.
I'm on time for one. I'm on time for once, HB.
And we're back.
Good.
We're back and we're desperate and degenerate as ever.
It's a lovely day.
I'm good. Can you
How you feeling today,
I
boo?
hear loud and clear.
Okay, my circle was there. It goes. So my circle wasn't moving. I was like, "Am I here? What up, Miss Danetta?"
What?
Miss Z in the building.
Miss C is in the building.
He just ended. Who did? What are you talking about? What's going legal, Bambi? Who are you talking about? What are you talking about, Bambi? If you need to tell me on the back end on IG if that's better. Oh, George? Oh, George is? Oh, shit. Oh my god, dude. That's what she fucking needs. Like, I support George 100%.
Go through and see who else we got in chat. Scroll up to the top.
Let's check out what this fat hooker and her fucking failed fucking wannabe rapper boyfriend that used to sell crack has to say.
Pox. What up, Pox? Pox. What up? The judge is in the building. What's up,
Mustard
Judge?
Squirrel's in the building, y'all. Because he's got a stock, you know.
In the building.
What up, Shark?
What up, Hellbilly? Good to see you. The trunk daddy.
Yeah, he's got a stock. A stalker's got a stock.
Yeah. Books from Moses. Books from Moses. What up, baby? Let's see. Who else we got up in here? Charlie D. World famous. World famous Charlie D in the building.
Oh, yeah, world famous. He's real world famous, y'all.
What up, nephew?
The Gene team is fucking fraternizing with the Workyverse. They have completely went back on everything they've ever stood for.
Yeah, he's been through in a minute.
Proven that they are flip-floppy. Proven that they're flip-floppy. I mean, I knew it.
What up, Tony?
I knew that this was going to come one day sooner or later.
Paula in the building.
Miss Paula. Welcome in, Miss
And there's
Paula.
another good indication, having Miss fucking Paula.
What up, Carlos?
Miss Mickey, hello, hello. Good to see you. Auntie Z up in the building. Love you, sweet lady. Scroll on down. The storm over there was going to take place, he said. Y'all better
Ian,
y'all
why are you
buckle down.
sniping and talking shit on Gene? Because Gene's a bitch ass motherfucker.
I figured he might.
It's all good, squirrel. We're gonna continue to rain down havoc on his ass. We'll get to that in a minute.
The Hayti Predator. See, they're allowing that to be said in their chat. I could have them struck just for that. You ain't gonna take care of shit,
Got nothing better to do.
Gene.
Yeah, content. So we would have said
Y'all have no content. This is what y'all do. I'm doing exactly what y'all do. Y'all snipe stuff, record it, and then you fucking use it and call it news after you twist the meaning. I'm gonna call it exactly as I see it.
He hanging out with, but the fuck anyway.
Oh yeah,
Whiskey in the bell.
that y'all are constantly trying to get them not to hang out with me because you don't like it, because
Alright,
you
hello.
know that I'm not focused
Yeah.
on you that much. This is a fucking exclusive time
What
for
up,
me
bro?
right now to even be focused on you.
What's up?
Oh,
Hello,
because you
how are
got
you? How are
Rooski
you
up
guys doing
there.
today?
You got
We're
Rooski
doing
up
good,
there.
man.
Hey, Daily Canine. Let me give you a rinse and escape. I know you're cool from
So,
Bambi's. Welcome. Thank you for coming over here and
what's up?
supporting.
Moses, you took
Oh my God, the fucking wonk eye freak is coming on panel.
Yeah, we have a very good back and forth. So I think, well, it's good for his show now.
You probably go up on books more than I see you anywhere, but I don't go a lot of places either.
Who's he talking about having a good back and forth with? He ain't had no good back and forth with me. There you go, Mr. Sinscape. Yeah, so now we've got the wonkai fucking abuser, predator himself. I don't mean like predator, like child predator, but you know, you never know. But I mean predator like he preys on women, you know, vulnerable single women. He'll prey on them, try to get stuff from them, mooch off of them, be controlling and possessive, act like he owns them. You know, that kind of douchebag. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's up on the panel now because he's just got to get his fucking attention seeking time put in. You know, that's the type of people we're looking at and examining today. And why are we examining these pieces of shit, these wastes of space, you might say? Because they are actively engaging and hanging out with somebody that is making like real life threats. And, you know, I know a lot of people laugh and say, so they made a bunch of empty threats. Well, no, they've also made a bunch of threats and said about doing stuff after the fact and before the fact. They've done it and they were successful. You know, that's just the reality. It's not about, oh, you're making yourself look bad. Like, no, it's just you got to be honest about the facts. The facts is they've gotten away with way too much shit. And the only way that's going to stop is if attention is brought before it and, you know, noise is made about it. And so that is why we are covering these guys today, because they are in active uh, participation in threatening, not just like any one of them could be one of the people that was impersonating. All right, I apologize about that. My phone died. I gotta plug it back up. But anywho, yeah, you know, we've got people like the likes of Kyle Vickery, DB Boy, And we educate you on who he is and what he is because he is dangerous. He is a 3-time domestic felon, which means he is a violent person and probably full of anger and, self-hatred, that he hates anybody else that he just doesn't like or comes into not liking. And he does not like me. He hates me. Like, make no bones about it. The man literally fucking hates me. And that's fine. I mean, there's no reason for him to, really, because everything he's dished out towards me, I have only maybe dished just a fraction of it back towards him his way. Maybe a fraction of it. I'll give him, like, you know, perhaps 2/5 or something. That's how small. And he wants to go around, parade himself as a victim, but then turn around also on the same breath and say, to shoot this motherfucker, he needs to be put down. Yeah, cage or grave, all this shit. Like, you're hypocritical. You can't do that. Real people, if they started looking into your stuff because they saw you calling me a pedophile and they got concerned and thought about getting involved and they looked at just a fraction of a little bit of your activities and stuff, dude, like, you best be careful they don't investigate you for those fucking false claims you want to make on somebody. Because that'd be your karma for doing some of this shit. End up getting on their radar yourself. I'll never have to worry about that because I don't get on places like, any of those grimy places like Grinder or Telegram. None of that shit. I don't fuck with that. And if I did, it wouldn't be, to hook up with anybody that's not at the very least my age, or within my age range. Like I said, I'm willing to maybe date 3 years older and like 3 years younger. Anything past that uh, would have to be a really special circumstance and for a good reason. And even then, like and that would mainly deal with going with dating older than maybe 3. Like, I'm not going to be with anyone because I dated somebody once that was 4 years younger than me. And man, there was just such a disconnect. Like, in us having, we had some things, a good amount of things in common, but we had such a vast amount of things, not uncommon, but like incompatible. I like to smoke weed. She hated it. She liked to drink. I hated it. I would do it and sometimes partake, but it was always has and always has been feels like a chore to me whenever I'm drinking. Um, let me. I'm gonna have to switch this internet real quick. I may fall out. All right, I'm on here now. I had to, whoops, I had to switch stuff. I'm gonna have to take and set this by the door, and hopefully you guys will still hear me. What I've done whenever I've been on Miss Harlow's panel. No, Brownie, you don't need to go out again. Like, I'm gonna be honest, and some people may say I'm being dumb or whatever, but I'm being vulnerable. Like, I'm opening myself up to people. Like, when I casually heard, "Oh, Cassie, by the way," I think I may have remembered what was said that you talked about, and that's the fact that I randomly clicked on your live stream and I heard you talking about if we could just get somebody there locally and pay them, the right amount and get them to steal Brownie back. You tried to say to steal Brownie back. He's never stolen. Number one, like you have no who the fuck's his owner then if he was stolen? Yeah, exactly. Bitch, you talk about stealing my dog. You damn right I said something about your fucking funky ass. Ain't nobody gonna steal my dog. I don't think, like, I have the officer that's been investigating all this crap coming up here soon to meet with me. And I'm going to go over and make sure to ask him one on one, not legal advice, but what the law says exactly when it comes to self defense of property and animals to deal with both lethal and non lethal force. Because I have some non lethal stuff I could always use too. Like, it's not like I want to end up, having to kill somebody. I do not want to do that. That's the last fucking thing I want to do. But if it's me or me or my dog or that, sorry, but it's you. Like, if I saw somebody running up to my dog with a knife, like, fuck that. And they think it's funny because they got a real reaction of what terror looks like. But I couldn't locate Brownie because he was inside of a metal enclosed building and therefore his collar was not able to get out any signal at all. So he was disconnected in a way. And it had me fucking tripping the fuck out. Like, I didn't know what to think. And, it's not funny at all. That's about like the same type of feeling somebody has, and you can get mad if you want to, but it's the same feeling for me as if I would have lost a child. I mean, don't say that it's not. I'll give you the examples of the similarities. It's something I love. It's a living being. It has feelings and emotions and a consciousness. It has a relationship with me. This is its home. This is where he feels safe. This is where he's taken care of. Uh, I have just as much attachment or love for him as I would. You might say, well, you should have more if you had a real kid. And I said, I guess I would, but I don't see how it could be any more. Like, love is love. You love a family member or a family pet. I mean, I think it's about the same equally. Like, I didn't know that we loved our animals less. I mean, you know. And what y'all have done, like what y'all been doing here lately, thinking you're cute with people, you gonna end up fucking around and you gonna find out. Because not everybody is gonna take up for your shit. And hell, their response might not be as diplomatic and stuff as like me and others, where we go to the law, we report it, we do the proper things, we don't act like savages. There may be somebody out there that could get to the point of going over that line and acting completely out of their normal self just because they do not deal well, and nobody would do well and should do well with the fact of somebody trying to harass another person's loved ones. Like, that's some shit that if you were to do to somebody, especially if, let's say, they was in a gang or something, you would be dead. They wouldn't give a fuck if it was just for YouTube or low-cal bullshit. Matter of fact, they'll even be mad more that you put their shit on the internet and their family on there, because they don't like being, put on place like they will straight up kill you. They after they have you delete the fucking channel and shit, they then would kill you, promising you that they'll let you go, but knowing the whole time they gonna kill your ass. They kill you. There's no question about it. Filthy who? They wouldn't give a fuck. But it's funny because y'all doing this. The specific people y'all pick to go after, they always have a certain criteria about them. I notice y'all don't go after like even people that are real big and publicly acknowledgeable scumbags and are bigger, maybe not that much bigger, but a little bit bigger than perhaps me, and not even some of y'all even bigger than y'all, but around the same, maybe a little bit bigger sometimes. But y'all won't go after them. I would think you would, being you're a troll group and you're trying to grow. And what better way than going at somebody that might be a little bit bigger in numbers than you, but still not too big and out of your reach to where you can't reach their people and get in the algorithm. But y'all don't do that. It's almost like y'all purposefully go after people that you believe very well can't somehow figure out who Filthy is and stuff. Because that's what all this is riding on now. If he loses his anonymity, the workyverse will then be crumbled. Because then not enough people or important people enough have their identity still hidden. A few folks here and there do, but not enough to where, I mean, that would mean a whole main branch then would finally be unmasked. Most of it's been unmasked so far, besides Filthy. He loses his anonymity and loses it all. It literally will lose it all. He loses it. And he's very aware of that, I believe. That's why I think he moves the way he does. That's why I think, all the stuff that goes on with him happens that way. For that reason alone. He does not want to get doxxed. And if Miss Harlow is correct, and I'm going to believe her because she's got no reason to lie to us about it, she said that he referenced and said Tennessee like hours, or where he was at. So, and there's another person who suggested that same state a good whiles back. and it's nobody currently around that, like, only certain fucking people would even remember this person. But needless to say, they're not as active anymore. So I think it's curious how now two definitely unconnected folks have come up with Tennessee. It's it's a wild, wild, wild shit going on. People got no care at all for just common decency and courtesy. What I wonder, you know, how Diddy really believes he's gonna beat all this. Like, he's not. He's gonna have to take a plea deal on some of it if he ever expects and hopes of getting out anytime in the future. And that's on if his fucking time, in there goes okay. Because a lot of people get locked up for a small amount of time and end up staying in there a lot longer because they get involved in shit but he might not have that problem with his celebrity status because he's got plenty of money that fucking every gang will be fucking trying to beat the other one and trying to get to him to see which one of them can offer the best deal and get his money for protection. Now they said Diddy was technically like a Crip at one time. Like he might, technically have some, but people already in there he can pick up with. I don't know. But what's crazy is that Boosie thinks that it's kind of not right. Like he said if they're gonna start arresting people for flying women out because it comes across the state lines, he said, which when you're a celebrity, he said, hell, everybody does that. He said everybody has flown girls out to a party, a premiere, whatever. He said, hell, you have to. He said you don't have the time to drive all the way and get them yourself. He said if they're gonna start doing that, he said shit, everybody's screwed. He said because all these people, he said Elton John, he said all of them have flown. He said I'm just gonna be real. He said all of them have flown pussy out. He said they've all done it. He said, and if that's sex trafficking, what? He said, how is that sex trafficking? If you're not flying them to do sex work and you make money off of it, if you're just flying them to your party, he said, and then you send them home, maybe you might send them home with a couple $100. He said, shit. He said, it's hard out here for women. He said, does that make her a prostitute? He said, he's like, I've been with girls who weren't prostitutes. They didn't expect to get paid up front or anything. He said, I would take them on dates. He said, but if she stayed with me the weekend and then was going to leave and I knew her situation wasn't the best, he said, I'm going to give her a couple $100. He's like, that don't make her no prostitute. He said, it's crazy, man. He said, he got indicted with a RICO and he the only one. He said, that's some crazy shit. He said, I ain't never heard of that before ever. He said, man, it's not a RICO. Fuck, it's a FRICO. He didn't catch a RICO. He caught a FRICO. He said he got indicted for being a freak, man. He's like, I'm not saying that he's maybe not a freak or whatever. He said, but he said, I just don't know. He's like, he obviously done wrong by that girl with what he did with her. He said, I'm not going to say nothing about that. He said, but I think some of these charges, this from Boosie, he said, I think a lot of these charges are trumped up bullshit. He said, because, he said, I didn't see anything reading in there about evidence that shows he was flying girls, overseas or out to another big city in the country to be prostitutes, other place. He said, I think that he has only flown, they're talking about flights he had to like his parties and stuff. And he said, he said, maybe they're trying to say that he was trafficking them at these parties. He said, but he said, wouldn't you have to have the testimony of each and every one of these girls? He's like, yeah. He said, I don't know how they plan to do this shit. He said, I really don't. But I couldn't believe almost he was taking up for him. I'm like, I think Vlad couldn't believe it really either because Vlad was almost like, he was like, man, the evidence is pretty overwhelming. He's like, what evidence? He's like, well, the evidence, all the baby oil, the drugs, what a lot of these people are saying coming out in the lawsuits. He said, He said they've been looking into him since 2011. He said that's another thing. He said they've been looking into him for a decade. He said, "You're telling me that for a it's taken them a decade." And he said, "And this is the best they got." He said, He said it don't sit right with me, man. He said it just don't. He's like, I'm not saying. He said if he's guilty of any of this stuff, truly guilty, he said, well then fuck him. He said, but he said, I mean, we all know well too easy how easy they could just charge you for things and not even be really accurate and push it through. He said, especially the feds. He said, if they want to get you, he said, they'll get you. He said, hell, my cases are living proof of that. He said, I got my stuff dismissed. And then just a week or so later, he's out he's out celebrating the fact he beat that stuff. And he finds out he's been re-indicted. They've re-indicted his ass on the same shit that got dismissed and on the same stuff that another court actually overturned the guy's conviction because they said that the federal government trying to decide and say that it can regulate handgun ownership under the Constitution based on if a person used to be or is currently a user of a narcotic substance such as marijuana or what have you. And there is no historical tradition. While there is a historical tradition of being in active possession while being under the influence, there is, so in other words, if you're obviously fucked up while caught in the ownership or possession of a handgun, that might stick because there is a tradition of that. But just because you may have smoked last weekend, or you may smoke regularly when you get off work or something on Fridays and Saturdays, but you don't on Sundays maybe, and you don't Monday through Friday, at least not till Friday evening when you get off work. Okay, if that's the case, well then Monday through Friday when you're not smoking, would it be wrong for you to be able to, if you have a CCW or whatever the state law is, have your handgun with you, to protect yourself? No, hell no. Not just because you would be hot on a drug test, because technically, you use those times only. If you use during those times and during those times, like your handgun was locked up in a safe and you didn't, have it in your possession while you're partaking in drink or whatever, because it's the same thing with drinking. Like somebody gets caught in a bar drunk in possession, I believe they're going to take a ride for that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would, because like that is a historically, you know, put out and well established traditional law based on certain reasons and lawful, you know, and it's done under the Constitution. But what's not done and been approved, and according to the courts, didn't pass the smell test with the historical traditions, is the ban on people that you like to use marijuana, whether medicinally or even recreationally. So with that, like Boosie had been trying to actually he wanted to get Trump, see if Trump would maybe, pardon his case or what have you. and he cited how that one court found that, under Bruin, it doesn't pass the smell test, and um, you know, doesn't, should, and so they dropped the charges in that one district court. Um, I believe he's in a different. If he was in that district specifically, that he would get the same type of ruling 9 out of 10, because he would be in a district where it was just ruled not too long ago that in a case, and they're gonna follow that same, you know. So, but that's not the case though. Unfortunately, he's in a different district. So he was just citing how in another district, though, this is what the conclusion was, and trying to get Trump's attention on it on social media. I saw, but yeah, he said, "How am I not going to be able to protect my family? Because he said that's not right." And I applaud him for fighting that. You know, um, then again, though, just because according to one court and everything, that does not make it a nationwide. It's not to a nationwide level of being the status quo, unfortunately, still. So I still advise anyone that's using like regular marijuana and stuff, like, technically that is the law. Um, and I wouldn't advise breaking it. Um, you could always have somebody else that is different or doesn't smoke or something or whatever, hold it on to it for you. That's why I switched to what I smoke now, and I don't give a crap if people talk shit about it or not, because technically, like, I'm doing everything that follows the federal stuff, basically. Because that's the last thing I need is any of that BS. Um, or like people online trying to do that BS, because they threaten the cage and shit. So, some of them in a heartbeat, I probably figure would not have a problem with trying to, you know, have me investigated or whatever, and that's fine because I would pass the smell test. So, I'd pass the computer test, I'd pass the fucking interview, whole 9 yards. People might say, like, no, you wouldn't. How are you so sure? Like, I'm sure because I know, like, I don't do anything wrong. I did things wrong when I was younger, and I paid for those mistakes with what I had to do to restitute, pay restitution, and pay back to society. And I did. And in exchange for not being in trouble before and not wanting to ruin my life, the justice system worked out for me. And I, after 2 years of unsupervised probation, I, walked that crap off. It's gone, erased, does not exist. Now, if during those 2 years I would have gotten in trouble for the same thing again or something, been a different story, but that's not the case. And you know, if it wasn't such a big, well, that specific case wasn't that big in the amount, but it was connected to a series of times where he had done that. I only been with him one of the times, so they was just really like, I'm surprised, because at first they were kind of hard pressed, but when the guy's grandfather, after talking with my granddad, figured out, because he didn't really know who I was at first. He didn't recognize me, my name or whatever, when they told him. And then when he found out who I was related to, he and it got explained, and the prosecutor, all of them knew, like, I just was giving him a ride. Like, I was not an active accomplice. I wasn't with him any of the other times. They all had to have known that. It didn't matter though. I was still gonna have to make a deal. Oh, watch out. But I mean, my deal didn't cause me to have to testify or anything like that. Oh, watch out. Come on, Brownie. Because their evidence was pretty clear cut. Like, they didn't need anybody to testify or not. You know, it didn't really matter. And he ended up doing some time for that. Like, it wasn't the first time he had done something like that either. Like, dude has a horrible criminal record. Um, Back then, he was just getting started. But yeah, he was a close family friend, we thought. A lot of his family goes to our church and different stuff like that. You talk about like knowing fear for the first time. And that first night and locked up. Oh my God. That was an experience. We went to the bathroom. They had this bathroom that was out there. Technically, people could look out of their pod and see these two bathroom stalls, one for women, one for men. And you'd have this little ass shower curtain, and it was almost like purposefully not wide enough to cover the whole thing. You'd have to almost kind of like hold it out, spread it out some, like, to have full privacy. It was crazy, man. They said you enjoyed. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, well, I'm gonna listen to a little bit more what they got
No,
to
yeah,
say.
that's true. It's just well, we meshed.
I'm gonna be getting off here though, very shortly because we have a stream coming up at Miss Harlow's again. I want to give everybody a notice about Miss Harlow's. Matter of fact, it's already started, so let's get over there. Shit, I didn't know it already started.